Water remains the fundamental catalyst for human civilization, acting as a strategic asset that transcends mere biological necessity. Historically, the prosperity of empires was dictated by their proficiency in hydraulic engineering, yet the contemporary era has introduced a profound sense of complacency. Modern infrastructure has essentially decoupled urban populations from their ecological origins, fostering a misconception that water is an infinite utility. This systemic failure to appreciate the intrinsic value of water resources has placed global stability at a critical juncture. A primary concern for environmental scientists is the temporal imbalance between industrial exploitation and natural regeneration. While anthropogenic activities can contaminate a watershed in a negligible timeframe, the process of ecological remediation operates on a geological scale. Nature's capacity to sequester pollutants and replenish aquifers is being overwhelmed by the sheer pace of modern consumption. This time lag between action and consequence means that the environmental degradation we witness today is often the result of decisions made decades ago, suggesting that our current profligate habits are mortgaging the future of the next generation. The trajectory of rapid urbanization has necessitated the radical modification of natural landscapes, frequently at the expense of aquatic integrity. As agrarian landscapes are converted into industrial hubs, rivers are often relegated to the status of effluent conduits. This systemic neglect has led to the decimation of local biodiversity, where the influx of heavy metals and chemical runoff creates dead zones within once vibrant ecosystems. Furthermore, the encroachment of impermeable surfaces such as concrete and asphalt prevents groundwater recharge, exacerbating the risk of catastrophic flash floods and long-term water scarcity. Perhaps the most egregious manifestation of environmental negligence is the global ubiquity of synthetic polymers. We currently operate within a linear economy that prioritizes transitory convenience over ecological sustainability. A plastic vessel, manufactured in seconds and utilized for a duration of mere minutes, possesses a chemical longevity that far exceeds the human lifespan, persisting in the biosphere for centuries. The correlation between forest density and water security is a fundamental principle of hydrology that is frequently overlooked in industrial planning. Forests function as sophisticated biological regulators. Their canopy intercepts precipitation while their complex root systems facilitate the infiltration of water into subterranean aquifers. This process is essential for mitigating soil erosion and ensuring the consistent discharge of freshwater into river basins. However, the relentless pursuit of deforestation for agrarian expansion has disrupted this equilibrium. When arboreal cover is removed, the ground becomes impermeable, leading to rapid surface runoff and catastrophic flooding during extreme weather events. The time lag is again evident here. While a forest can be decimated in a matter of days, the re-establishment of a fully functional old-growth ecosystem takes generations. Thus, the preservation of existing forests is not merely an act of conservation, but a strategic necessity for maintaining global water stability. Addressing the hydrological crisis necessitates a paradigm shift from reactive mitigation to proactive stewardship. International policy frameworks must transcend traditional conservation efforts, integrating natural capital accounting into national economic strategies. This approach recognizes that the environment is not an external factor, but the very foundation of socio-economic resilience. Technological innovations, such as advanced desalination and closed-loop wastewater reclamation, offer viable pathways to augment water security. However, these solutions must be implemented alongside a transition toward a circular economy. By emphasizing the reclamation of resources and the reduction of synthetic waste at the source, global governance can begin to synchronize industrial growth with the planet's biological limitations. The integration of green infrastructure, such as urban wetlands and permeable pavements, further illustrates how modern engineering can mimic natural processes to manage water more effectively. In summary, the intricate nexus between water resources, temporal constraints, and environmental integrity defines the most significant challenge of the Anthropocene. We have reached a critical inflection point where the historical model of infinite expansion is no longer tenable. The story of our world is at a juncture where the time lost to complacency must be reclaimed through immediate, collective action. The preservation of aquatic and silvicultural systems is not an optional endeavor, it is a fundamental prerequisite for human survival. While the damage inflicted over the past century is extensive, the window of opportunity for ecological restoration remains open. However, this window is rapidly closing. The legacy of the current generation will ultimately be determined by its ability to transition from a culture of exploitation to one of global responsibility. If we act with strategic foresight and ethical commitment, we can ensure that the environmental heritage we bequeath to the future is one of vitality and resilience. The clock is ticking, but the trajectory of the future remains within our control.